All right, all right, all right. Hello, 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 Facebook.
Hello.
Hello, YouTube, Facebook. We're here live streaming on multiple different platforms, and I am so super duper excited. So, everybody, y'all already know the drill. Share the feed, go ahead and do a watch party, share it to your page. You know, when we get on here, we're going to have some candid conversation, and it's definitely going to be profitable information for each and every one of you. So, I see you guys are hopping in here from Facebook. Continue to share. As you can see, we have a very special guest today. I'm excited for the conversation that's going to be had. And I'm excited for those of you that are listening in because of what you're going to have access to on today. So this is Dr. China Bethy. I'm here in a beautiful, sunny Atlanta, Georgia on this incredible Monday, the beginning of a beautiful, beautiful month. And we are expecting some amazing things in the month of November. So continue to share your feed, share your feed as we get into who our special guest is for today. So who do we have here with us today? Katrina, tell them a little bit about you, because I'm super excited about what's happening today.
This is all new to me. I'm so excited. Hi, my name is Katrina Scott. I am a realtor in the DMV area. I am so excited about partnering up with Dr. China and Dr. Jewel Tankard. This opportunity was brought to me a couple of weeks ago, and me and my husband, I took it to him, and we just couldn't walk away. This was like something we had to be a part of, especially partnering with you guys and you all as our mentor. I thank you so much for taking this time out to show us the ropes, because what she's about to go over, ladies and gentlemen, this is some exciting news. I'm so excited.
Wow. Wow, absolutely. I think it's a tremendous blessing. I'm excited that you were open and willing to see the opportunity when Paige called. I know sometimes when people have success already in their life, sometimes they feel like, well, I'm too busy to kind of listen to what could expand that. And obviously, you guys have been knowing each other for quite some time. How did you and Paige connect? I know you guys go way, way back, but what did that relationship look like? Because a lot of people don't realize that your next level is probably going to come from a relationship, one that's either that you've been knowing for a while or some kind of way where somebody connected you to some information. How did you guys connect?
Well, I mean, I have a couple of my girlfriends that when we get together, all of us are entrepreneurs. And when we talk, it's always about making money. What can we do to take us to the next level? So
Good.
when Paige called me, she said, I know you and Ruben just moved into y'all's house. Unfortunately, COVID has hit. Real estate is doing great. I'm a top producing agent, like I said, in the DMV area. And when COVID hit, we moved into this house and we had things that we need to fix up in here and we wanted to buy new furniture. And Paige knew this. So she was like, I got to wait for you to make some extra money. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. Sign me up.
Wow.
Heard the opportunity and the rest was history. My husband, who is like, hey, what are y'all doing? He was like, damn, like this sounds amazing. And then when we heard about some of the key players that were involved, like I said before, it was just, it was no way that we could not learn more about this opportunity.
Wow, that's amazing, guys. So we're going to get into the nuts and bolts in just a moment. I just wanted you to know that you may be watching this, on Katrina's page, or somebody may have shared this, to your page, and you may be wondering, how did you stumble across this information and what are we talking about? We're talking about an opportunity for you to launch your very own digital franchise. Right now, Katrina is doing just that. She just mentioned to you before, she doesn't really spend time on social media. She's a successful real estate agent in the DMV area, already successful in her own right, her and her husband doing what they do, but are still open for an additional stream of income to maximize the current times that we're in. We're living in a time right now, like honestly, if you look around, everything is becoming more and more digital. You're probably seeing the writings on the walls, like literal writings on the wall that's talking about coin shortages. And most of us don't really understand what that means at large. We see a sign that says, give us exact, amount, because we can't give you change back. We are watching our world just literally turn upside down. We're seeing things change really fast, but most people don't know what that means for them and what that means for their life. I know right now that there's a huge opportunity for those that seize the moment, because we're living in a digital society where everything we do is connected to an app. Like Katrina, for example, I recently got connected to the Instacart, right? Where, as a busy professional, always on the go, as a mom with 3 children, a husband and operating multiple businesses, sometimes just going to the grocery store can be a bit much. And so Instacart, yes. Sometimes you want it right now. Sometimes so we're living in a time where you can literally just download the Instacart app to your phone and have somebody else to go make the groceries for you so that you can do the things that only you are able to do. And so with that being said, everything from, Ubers and Lyfts to Airbnb, everything has become so digital, but most people haven't tapped into a way to make money digitally, right? They haven't tapped into a way that they could sit at home. I'm not talking about like if you drive for Uber, right? Yeah, it's connected to technology, but what if you didn't have to physically do the labor of getting up and leaving your home and you could literally press some buttons on your phone? So what we're going to provide to you and show you right now is how you can have access to this amazing world that would allow you, no matter what your educational background is. Because I think what happens is when we start talking about, cryptocurrency, because we're going to get into cryptocurrency in just a moment. People are like, wait a minute, what is it? It's so new. And I get it. It is new. It's new to a lot of people, but that's an opportunity for you to get in and kind of be a part of the pioneering phase of what's happening. And as new as we believe that cryptocurrency is, the truth of the matter is it's actually already been around for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? Like, when was the first time? How long have you been hearing about Bitcoin, Katrina?
When we met last week, I think I was telling you that my husband and I had bought into some Bitcoin. I think it was probably 5 years ago. And I can't find my login because we bought it. And I hear that it's like $13,000. We didn't spend that much for it. So, I mean, this is not new. And I feel like, we got to be on this wave because I see the Bitcoin ATM machines in the gas stations and things now. So we got to be on this wave like yesterday.
Wow. Somebody else mentioned that. I had a young lady who goes to my church, and she said, I don't know what's going on with this Bitcoin thing, but I keep hearing it now. And that got to be your signs and your cues when you start to hear something constantly. It's like confirmation. She said somebody just had a conversation with her about Bitcoin, and when she walked out, and she was on the phone or whatever, and when she walked out the store, bam, there was a Bitcoin ATM machine. And she was like, what is this? Like, what does this even mean? So what we provide to you guys is a way that you can gain education so that you can maximize the moment. That's what we're putting you in a position to do. What we're talking about right now is something that's already happening. In fact, let me pull up this article so you guys can see some of the things that's happening right now. And the beautiful thing is you don't have to know everything about this. So I'm going to just do a simple Google search on PayPal Bitcoin, okay? Because PayPal has just literally decided to incorporate cryptocurrency. And so this is absolutely just a big deal that's happening right now. Forbes is talking about what's going on even with Square, okay? Your banks are also getting into this space. JP Morgan, Fidelity, all of these things are happening, but what does it mean for you? So just watch this really quick as we look at this quick article that was just put up. PayPal launches its new service enabling users to buy, hold, and sell cryptocurrency, guys. This happened just a few days ago, okay? This is a big deal, and you may be saying, well, what does it mean? Whatever it means, you want to get in the side of it that you can totally benefit from it, okay? So we want to give you the education so that you don't miss out on this. It's almost like having an opportunity to be involved in the internet in the very beginning stages, but you thought you needed to understand everything to benefit from it, and you really, really don't. You don't have to understand everything about what's going on in cryptocurrency or this digital economy to really, really benefit from this space. And so there's so much news that's out about this. There's so many videos that's out about it now that's allowing you to get involved. But what do you do, and why would you want to do it? Do you realize that there are people that are purchasing homes already with cryptocurrency?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they're purchasing. Look, listen, you can purchase a BMW now. BMW is accepting cryptocurrency to purchase a car. So this is what I'm saying. If you're listening in and maybe you're a professional, non-professional student, parent, whatever the case may be, and you're saying, well, what does this mean for me? We have an opportunity that you can get in on to learn the ins and outs of this. We don't expect for you to be, know everything about it, but we do expect for you to see the writings on the wall. So let me give you a sneak peek behind the scenes of what you would have access to with partnering with us. We give you a state-of-the-art back office that teaches you specifically how to trade inside of these inside of these markets, because basically cryptocurrency is a market. And a lot of times when we talk about this, Katrina, people assume that we're talking about the stock market, and it's different. You know, we are able to trade stocks with our platform, but we're talking about a market that moves much, much faster, and a market that allows you to make money no matter if the stock is going up or down. So we're trading cryptocurrency really on the foreign exchange market, and we're going to get into that in just a second, but I just want to show you a little bit of what you would have access to. So when you partner with us, the whole purpose is for us to educate you on how you could benefit from this market, right? So we give you access to tools and resources. We have multi-million-dollar banking software like this particular tool right here. And when you see this in the beginning, I know when I first saw it, Katrina, I was like, what is this?
The EKG.
Girl, I said, oh no, we're going to have Jewel hop on in just a second. When I tell you, when I just looked at this tool, and some of you may be saying the same thing that we said, we was like, what the heck is this? This is the type of tools that banks are using to make money off of your money. Now, see, that changed things a little bit, because I was like, this is the type of tool that what? Banks make money off of our money. When we deposit money into the bank, they actually have multi-million-dollar banking software similar to our Harmonics tool that allow them to actually make money of the fluctuations in the market. So currencies have value, and the values go up and down. And so similar to real estate, you know, the philosophy is buy low, sell high, right? Well, it's the same with this. So if you guys know somebody that's in the real estate market, you need to tag them and say, guys, I'm kind of hearing about this, but now our goal is to educate you. We don't want you to just hear it and kind of see the Bitcoin ATM machines or kind of start to hear about Forex, but not know how to maximize it or get involved. Our goal is to teach you in a very simplistic way on how you can learn how to use tools like this. Now, here's the interesting thing. When I first saw this, I immediately told myself, oh my gosh, what am I looking at? It looked hard, complicated, overwhelming. It looked like I was going back to school. It looked like Japanese geometry. And I was like, oh no, I'm not, you know, I don't do good with stuff like that. But watch this. When I tell you that this tool is something that I learned how to use in 30 minutes, all we were looking for was ABCs that this tool was giving us. It was telling us the currency pairs that we were going to trade. So could you imagine having access to $1 trillion daily market, and the tools provided basically tell you exactly what to do? It told us exactly the currency pairs to trade. So you don't have to be an expert and even really understand this, because the tool is basically giving you all of the answers to the test. It tells us the currency pair to trade. It tells us whether we're going to buy or sell the particular currency pair, depending on the position of the D. It tells us where to take our profit at in the market. Let me give you an example. This particular trade that we're looking at, and I know that many of you are seeing this for the first time, but I want to show you how simple it is. We can literally put a measuring tool on this particular tool right here and see that this is an opportunity for you to literally make, you know, off of small moves in the market, you know, $30 in the market. And I'm going to show you why that's so significant. How you can take this tool, somebody could make $30 off of literally putting a trade into the market. You know, they could make $300. You know, if you're trading 10 cents, you can make $30. If you're trading $1, you can make $300 off of the market moves based on you knowing how to use these tools. Now, here's the thing. We don't expect that when you first get started, you're going to automatically get all of this. But we do expect that you having access to it and being in trading sessions with the educators, that you're going to learn how to actually grow your money and multiply your money. So essentially what we're doing is literally turning pennies into dollars, dollars into hundreds, and hundreds into thousands of dollars right from our cell phone. We even have tools that allow you to trade in the cryptocurrency market, which is becoming extremely popular. Now, here's another piece that I like, and I'm going to go over this and then we'll talk a little bit more, Katrina, about why, you know, people need to be really aggressive and not miss this opportunity, and why it's really time sensitive. Look at these young, you know, just diverse group of people who are educated. And I want you to look at this for a moment, because something is happening. Something is happening right now, right before our eyes. We are in the future. I believe that the future of money is digital. So now you have people who are teaching you, you know, people with all type of professions that gotten involved in this and have now become educators and are helping people to trade inside of this space. And so what you would do is you would hop on here and you would select what, you know, whether you wanted to trade in just Forex or something called high frequency, or digital currency, you have access to all of these markets. Coming soon, launching this weekend, we have what we call ECX, which is e-commerce. Now, why is these things important? Because once again, it positions the person to be at home making money from their cell phones. It allows you to be home making money from their cell phones. So with that being said, you hop on here, you click on whatever market that you will want to learn how to trade in. And as you can see, you have access to multiple different educators live inside the market that's teaching you how to trade. So even if you knew nothing, literally thousands and hundreds of people from around the world are hopping on to really understand the basics. And so I'm just excited to put this into our communities, to be honest with you, Katrina. I know that our schools are not teaching this to our children. They're not. I know that most of us as adults, even as successful as we've become, as it relates to you being in real estate, Paige doing amazing things in her success, Dr. Jewel traveling around the world and, starting her own businesses and having talk shows. I know that we still were never taught this type of information in traditional schools. And so I believe that there's a huge urgency for us to say, you know what, at the end of the day, if this is the future and I have access to it now, let me get involved in it right away. So, I remember we sat down in DC with your husband and a couple of the other leaders inside of the market in DC there. What was the biggest takeaway when things became very simple for you? Because I think in the beginning, if we're honest, it looked a little overwhelming, right, Katrina?
It was very overwhelming.
And as a professional and making money, you probably was like, I don't really have a time for this. What shift for you when we were in DC?
We had one when we sat down and we, got everything on our phone and went over, as I call it, the EKG thing.
Right.
And you asked me like 3 questions and I was able to read. I'm like, oh, this is it. Like, it was kind of like elementary once someone you just explained it and asked those few questions that you asked. And I'm like, okay, so if I look back a little bit further and it was down low, but now it's going up, I can follow the trend.
That's right.
I'm like, okay, I can do this. And I mean, so far, my husband and I, we've been watching the videos. The videos have been like phenomenal because they're only like 8 minutes. It doesn't take a lot of time because really, when I say I have no time, and that was my thing at first, I was like, I don't have time for this. But now my mindset is, I got to make time for this.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we can use, I think, everybody right now. We don't know what 2021 is going to hold. And right now we all could use a little extra income. I just want to buy some furniture for my house. That's how this started,
I love it.
Yeah, I'm not looking at it. I think this is bigger than what I think. It's starting to sink in more daily. The more I get on with the videos, the more I connect with you, Dr. China, and the other people in the group. I see that this is real. The news articles that are coming out with where we're shifting to. I talked to one of my girlfriends the other day and she went and got a massage and she said, the girl asked me that I have Bitcoin to pay her. I'm like, really? I said, I just joined this. I just joined I Am Mastery and this is what we're doing.
Yes.
It's like, really? Like, it's here. And we need to take advantage of it. You know? And I don't want to be left behind to say, oh, I remember Dr. China and Paige brought that to me and my husband and I didn't do it.
That's good.
On the island having a ball and we still sitting here and I'm working hard selling houses.
Wow. Katrina, that's powerful because the truth is, you go and get a massage and somebody say, I'm telling you right now, because listen, imagine why would somebody want to say, can you pay me in Bitcoin? Is because for number one, your money can go up. The last time we talked, Bitcoin was right at 13,000. Now it's 14,000. And I just saw you a week or so ago. So you're literally buying into equity. Your money is growing. Yes, the market fluctuates. It doesn't just go straight up and down. Yes, it goes up and it goes down. But where I'm from, we buy low. So when it drops, you want to buy more of it, right? So that when it goes up, the experts have already predicted it to close out at 20,000 this year. I'm excited about that because I'm heavily invested. That's why I told you definitely need to find your password because you bought it when it was really low.
We did.
So what I like about what you're saying is that at least you were wise enough to get in position. The people that's listening right now, you got to be wise enough to get in position, even if you don't understand everything. This is not about understanding everything. None of us understand everything, but we're benefiting and we're profiting off of being in position. It's not about knowing everything. I challenge you on the line that's listening right now that may be in a situation just like Katrina. I love the simplicity. Katrina said, I just want the furniture. I just want we all come in with a goal. We've had people to pay off student loan debt. Clear. I mean, this is amazing. The call last night, you were able to hear people that were young, under 30 years old. Their student loan debt is gone. And so, I love the Gen Zs right now are definitely taking full advantage of this. They're like, I do not want to work my whole life. I do not want to, live paycheck to paycheck, whether it's a small check or a big check, because the reality of it is there are some people that are still making good money that live paycheck to paycheck. And,
right.
Gen Zs is like, I want the freedom. I want the flexibility, and being able to download an app on your phone and get a trade idea sent to you and make money. That's amazing. Katrina was able to put in her first trade, her and her husband, and she literally was like, that's it. And guess what I made her do? She didn't even realize that. I just asked her 3 questions, just like she said. She started analyzing the chart unbeknownst to her, because here's the thing about it. The truth is my 6-year-old son can trade. The truth is they should be teaching this to us in elementary school at the 5th grade level. That's the truth. The truth is some of that stuff we learned in school, Katrina, geometry, trigonometry, all of these different equations. When did we use that in life?
I have no idea. You're right.
We never used that information in life. I feel like it was designed just to make sure that let's see how complex their mind could think. Do you find what I'm saying? So that we could put them to work in this field or to work. And it's almost like a factory for employees. I feel like our educational system is a factory for employees. It's saying, okay, let me pull out your strengths, not for you to go and experience freedom, not for you to solve a problem, but for you to be somebody's employee for the rest of your life. That is something that is changing right now. It's no more we got to change that. This current generation is changing that. And it's not anything wrong with having a job, except for the fact that most people allow their dreams to die while building somebody else's dream. And you got to get to a point where while you're currently on your job, you're saying, listen, I need the freedom and flexibility that if I needed to take a break off for a month, I could without my income suffering. And that's what this opportunity will give you. We're not saying walk away from what you're doing. We're saying, listen, there's a way that you could partner with a wealth community. There is a way that you could partner with Katrina and you can have access as she's learning. She's not going to be your educator or your instructor. Paige is not going to be your educator or your instructor. I'm not your educator or your instructor. We are simply making the platform available for people, especially in our community, because we know that we've been left out. This industry has been around for hundreds of years. And most of us are just not hearing about it. As educated and as professional, if you've heard about the Forex market before partnering with us, if you have not heard about the Forex market before partnering with us, put 4s in the chat right now. Just drop 4s in the chat, because you would represent the majority of us who knew nothing about this world. Now I'm going to share my slides really quick, my screen quick again, because I want them to see something that we provide to you when you partner with us, specifically with Rich University, which is a community that provides an extreme amount of support for the everyday person to really get involved and be able to grow their money and have a plan, if you will, to be able to do that. So I'm going to share this with you really quick. The purpose of this chart is to show you that we give you the support and guide you along the way. So coming in, let's just say, Katrina, you wanted to buy some furniture. How much do you think you'll spend on the furniture? Just an estimate. Makes sense.
Not me, but I'm going to spend a nice amount of money for some furniture. Let me go models. Let's say 15,000.
Okay, so 15,000 for the furniture. So what will happen if Katrina started a trade account with $300 and she had a goal? Listen, this is really, you got to make it personal. You got to make it personal. What would you like to have done in the next 90 days? What would you like to have done by Christmas? The holidays is coming. You still have a chance to make some additional money from the market. Now, it is an educational process, and we're not saying come in and rush and gamble. We do not gamble in the market. So we're not saying do that. But what we're saying is that the tools and the videos and the support is available, that if you are in this space right now, or if you get in this space right now, you can pace yourself to learn what you need to learn. We even give you a demo account, right? And I'm going to show you how this is going to make sense so that you can then have real money that you are actually withdrawing. Like, I'm about to break this thing down for you guys, okay? So what happens is if Katrina said, okay, you know what? I'm really new to this. I don't have a whole lot of time, but I'm ready for my money to make money for me. Katrina actually deposits $300 in her live account right now. You know, if she's trading in her demo account and she's like, okay, let me just get my feet wet. Let me just understand what I'm doing. We give her a demo account in the beginning so that she could practice using our tools. We give her a demo account in the beginning so that she can practice taking the trade ideas that we give her. And when she's comfortable and ready to go live, right? So let's say Katrina, bam, Katrina's live trading in her account and she deposits $300 in her account. She now has a chart that's going to show her what some potential goals could be based on the growth that she wants to see. So she wants to grow her money 10% a day. Then guess what? Day one, her goal will simply be to make $30. We give her all the parameters that she needs. We even include the risk in it. So when you get involved, we're giving you a guide. You're not feeling like you're alone and by yourself. If you can just discipline yourself to show up and you can discipline yourself to follow these directions, then guess what? Day one, your goal is $30. Day two, $33. Day three, $36. And by the time you get down to day 7, you're at $584, right? And 62 cents. By the time you get down to day 14, you at $1,139, guys. Now, obviously, this is with 100% correct. This is with 100% going correct. But what we've done is we've embedded in this chart risk inside of this chart. So we know that everybody's experience is going to be slightly different. However, you have a guide and you have goals here. You get down to day 21. Look at this, guys. This is $2,220. Now, remember the first tool that I showed you. That tool was the tool that you would use. One of the tools. We have over 15 tools. That's one of the tools that you would use. I showed you in that one tool, just by using that one, that was a $30 that you could have made in the market. But somebody with a bigger account could have made $300 in the market off of using that one tool, right? You get down to day 28, you over $4,000. You get down to day 40, you at $13,000. Day 45, $21,000. Now, this is with discipline. Now, here's what I want to say. This is 100% going right. But remember I told you we embed risk in? Look at the risk. We embed risk in the market. That means if you got 50% of that wrong, 50%, we estimate, you know, you to take a 2% risk of every trade you put in. But if you got 50% of this wrong, by the time you got down to day 45, right, taking you to the holidays, guess what? If you got 50% of that wrong, you still have $10,000 that you could have made inside the market. You get 60% right and 40% wrong. Katrina, congratulations. You got your furniture, honey.
Right, by Christmas, right?
Hello, this tool is amazing. It provides you the support that you need. So if you don't really know what you're doing, that's okay. We have a platform that's designed for the everyday person to learn how to earn inside of this space. It's an absolute beautiful experience, right? Now, we also provide you, now this chart gets a lot bigger. By the time you get down to day 60, you keep going, you keep growing your money. Guess what? You're at $83,000. What bank could you put your money in? $300 in, and you have $83,000. You can't have $83,000 if you don't touch that money for 10 years in your bank. 20 years in your bank. So what we're saying is instead of just sitting your money in the bank, put your money to work. Y'all type that in the chat. If you're ready to put your money to work and you tired of being the only one working and your money not working, type put my money to work, because that is what this allows you to do. It allows you to put your money to work. Now listen, if you're saying, listen, not only do I want to put my money to work, but I want to stop working. This is my favorite part of this tool. I know so many people who feel like I've been working on this job. You know, I'm there early. I don't get the recognition that I need. I don't feel appreciated. Sometimes life is going on and I still got to force myself to go into a job because I got to provide for my family. Well, now it's time for you to get into the driver's seat. How do you do that? You simply look at this side of the chart, right? Where it shows you your job equivalent, right? So if you're making $12.50 an hour, all you need to do is get to the point where you're making $100 a day in the market. 5 days. You got $500 a week that you're making, $2,000 a month from home, y'all, from your phone. If you're making $31.25 an hour, what would it take to replace that 40-hour work week?
I would like to retire my husband, Dr. Shauna.
You see what I'm saying? So this is what you do. You look at this chart and you identify where he is hourly, and now you have a goal of what you need to do. Where he is hourly. And so you say, okay, listen, this is the plan. This is a plan. So when we talk about the support that you get, it's not just some people say, well, I really want to learn. We want you to learn. We got the education for you to learn, but we want you to earn and learn, because what I find with our community, if we could show you that the product works, it'll open you up to saying, wait a minute, just like you said in the beginning. At first it was like, I don't really have the time. Now you realize I can't afford not to have the time. You see what I'm saying? Like, because this is real. Not only do we do that, we even give you an opportunity to say, okay, let's talk about withdrawal. Some people say, okay, well, when do I withdraw my money? Listen, you can withdraw your money every day if you wanted to, but we prefer you to get on the schedule to start to grow your money. So what this does is it shows you, she said she's on, let me see. Oh, oh my gosh, she's on. So listen, guys, let me bring Doc in. I didn't realize she was on here. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Hey, Doc, how you doing?
What's going on, beautiful?
Hello.
Girl, you know we are so deep up in here. Okay, we all in here right now. So I'm excited. Katrina is launching her very own digital franchise. She's already achieved an amazing amount of success. And she just said, listen, I just want to furnish this house. I need about $15,000, $20,000. I want to furnish this brand new house that hubby and I just got. Okay, we're showing her literally what it takes. So Doc, come on in here. We're so proud of Katrina. Obviously, she's in the DMV. You know, Paige is doing an amazing job at building an incredible team with just being on a go all the time, but she wants to put our people in position to win. So come on in, Dr. Jewel Tanker, guys, drop some threes.
Y'all was over here killing it. Oh, it's good. I'm super excited for you, Katrina, and I definitely know the feeling, girl. God blessed us with a beautiful 13,000 square foot mansion, and I literally have just gone through this thing like a mighty rushing room and upgraded, painted, changed out lighting, furniture. So now my floors are pretty much all that's left. I built a whole outdoor sanctuary. And so I'm so proud of you, first of all, for you guys even moving into a brand new home. That's amazing. And absolutely to be able to put the icing on the cake. And so you definitely making this decision was huge. And I was just reading a report this morning, as a matter of fact. Let me pull it up really quickly. I want to show you guys this, because this is how we kind of really need to be thinking, and you'll be able to pull it up on your end. But this is really good. This is how we need to be thinking. Everybody on here really needs to be thinking like we need to be thinking like, let me see, share screen. Okay, let's see if it's going to let me share. Application.
Yeah, you should.
Okay. So everybody really needs to be thinking about this. Can you guys see this screen right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it's talking about amazing Black Friday statistics. Like right now, people that are, and this is not bad, this is just helping you to evaluate where you are. People that are like employee-minded or consumer-minded, a lot of them have already kind of started pulling back and saying, hey, I'm gonna really go after my dreams at the beginning of the year. But what that I want them to understand is that multiple millionaires and billionaires are really thinking about, I'm getting ready to make more money than I've ever made. This article basically came out. It said Black Friday 2019 saw 93.2 million buyers shopping online. So that means that people are getting ready to spend like never before, right? And what I want to make sure that our community knows, that what we understand is that our money, we cannot continue to put our dollars into Fendi and Gucci and Nike and Jordans, that it's time to build our own legacy. And the way you do that is through financial wealth education. The only difference between the rich and the poor is information. And so we have to begin to change some of the financial behavioral patterns that we've seen down through the years, right? So it says Black Friday online shopping sales hit $7.4 billion, which is an all-time high. Average savings on Black Friday specials are 37%. About 40% of shoppers made online purchases on Black Friday. And then there's more statistics. I'm not going to get into that talks about 25 Black Friday sales statistics to know in 2020. And then it talks about a lot of the companies How much do companies make on Black Friday? Now, this is really, really important to know. And they kind of talk about here, $7.4 billion were made according to Adobe Analytics. And then we can go on further and we can look at who were those companies. These are companies, guys, like Amazon. These are companies like Google. These are companies like Shopify, right? So we have to make sure we understand that we are in we're in a digital space. Dr. China, you probably talked about it. I love what you told me last night about the future of money. This is the future of money. Mm-hmm. This is really the future of money. And so this is not this is not for me thing. If you're living in the globe, in any nation, this is for you. If you desire to become wealthy, all you have to do is be willing to learn. And so this platform, let me tell you something, this would be worth it, you taking your baby's money. I'm so committed. China, we've had this conversation. Katrina, this may be your first time. I'm so committed to us as a community and women in particular. And God has blessed Dr. China and I. We are leading right now one of the largest female women of color organizations. We're leading the movement. God graced us for that. And I say that graciously and humbly. I'm very, very gracious and I'm very, very grateful. But we are also highly dedicated. Now, I'm not leaving the men out. I'm not leaving out, my Caucasian sisters or my Caucasian brothers. But I'm letting you know that as a community, the best thing that we can do is become wealthy. Because see, here's the reality. Whether Biden gets in or Trump gets back in, it doesn't matter. Nobody is going to love your community like you. Nobody is going to embrace the school systems like you. Nobody's going to put technology in the schools like you. Nobody's going to hire private tutors for sectors of children in different zip codes like you. We have to take responsibility, not just for our own family, but also for the community. And so I really want to encourage you guys that are watching, that are saying, hey, this is for me? This is definitely for you. I always tell people two things. If you can answer these questions, number one, are you willing to learn? If you're willing to learn, it's for you. Number two, do you want to be wealthy? We're not talking about raising up millionaires, in 10, 20 years. We're talking about, we're seeing 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure earners within 12 months, 24 months, 48 months. Like, it's happening right now. And so, I want everybody to be a benefactor of this digital era that we're in. We're at the first inning of it. When you start seeing billionaires, philanthropists like Paul Tudor, George Ball saying, hey, I didn't believe in crypto, but now I do. Those are all what we call wealth indicators. When you leave out of your house and you go down the street and they say, this is a Bitcoin ATM. When you go to the post office and they say it's a coin shortage, these are all financial indicators. The fact that you can take a picture of your check and it be deposited into your account. We're moving to a paperless society. You have to make sure that you are positioned and you're ready. And you can't be ready if you don't have education. So you guys, I'm pretty passionate about this. So I'm going to turn it back over because
I love it. I love it.
We here for all of this right now because the truth is, if we're not aggressive about our communities, if we just say, well, they didn't get it, forget about it, then honestly, we miss it because we're then not in a position to buy back the block or do things that we need collective wealth to do. And so we really want to empower as many people as possible, especially as many people in our community as possible, so that we can see the change that we need to see, economic change, just social change, all of the changes that people are literally looking to the government for and asking them for. We need to turn inward and say, how can we come together, gain the resources and knowledge necessary so that we are the change that we want to see, and we're not constantly going to people that we believe and who have oppressed our communities and say, now I'm going to ask you to save me. No, that's backwards. So what we're saying right now, if you're listening in on this call, this is not about, well, let me go think about it. There's nothing to think about. It's happening already. There's nothing that you're going to do. We're the company that has 18 attorneys. We're with a company that's been featured in Forbes twice. We have alliances with people like Bob Proctor, Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather just aligned with us. I mean, these are people who are not going to just put themselves in a position, Eric Warwick, all of the people that are partnered with us right now is because they're paying attention to what's happening right now. We're saying now that you even have an opportunity to partner with us, just with the women you're watching right now, to have the opportunity to say, wow, I get to be a part of that. It's worth you investing into you right now. So Katrina, share with us really quick, you know, just how you're feeling right now. And we want to get everybody in the, I mean, this is history being made.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, how can you not want to be part of this? Y'all are so amazing. Like, I am so glad that I said yes. Like, I didn't think twice about it. Like, I'm so glad I'm putting me and my husband are in position to receive all that you all are sharing, to get on and do these videos. And I can't wait till we get to the next level with it. I really can't. I'm so grateful to you women for, you know, taking me under your wing. And I just look forward to what's next.
Absolutely. And, you know, I appreciate you saying I'm not going to just keep it to myself, because sometimes people do that as well. They get access to this and then they kind of hold it, you know, to themselves and think that they need to figure it out. This is not the time to be selfish. This is the time to share this information, and let's get as many people as possible in our community connected to this so that we can once again make real change. So guys, what you're looking at on your screen is what it takes to get started. It's very simple. It's very affordable. $234 is the basic package. You would actually click the link. Katrina's going to have it up on her page and site. You might be watching it from one of her partners' pages or whatever the case may be. They have a unique link. That is your entry. That's your access. That's how you get involved. This link is something that you want to click on and just select the best package for you, whether it be the HFX, which is a big deal right now. We haven't talked much about this, but you have options, or whether it's the digital currency package or all of them. You know, I recommend the Elite for $324 one time, because it positions you to make more money. Like, you'll make money with Forex, you'll make money with digital currency, and you'll be able to make money with HFX. Coming soon as well, this weekend launching. You heard Jewel talk about this, guys. We're going into e-commerce. What does that mean? It gives you an opportunity to have your very own online store. Why not position yourself now so that you can get the introductory rate and position yourself to have a store open for Black Friday? She just told you that billions of dollars is spent online throughout the holiday season. How are you making money from it? See, we got to shift the mindset from saying, let me save up money so that I can have enough money to spend on Black Friday. You need to be saying, let me invest some money so that I can be positioned for Black Friday.
That's
so I can position for Cyber Monday. I can get a piece of the market share. That's what we're talking about right now.
China, can I say this too? This is so good. And this is where we have to have conversations with our family. Because when your children, because you've been doing this probably your whole life, you go out and get a second or third job, God bless your heart. You're just trying to be a good parent, have a really good Christmas for your children, and then you spend all this money. And so some of you may be dealing with parent guilt, mommy guilt, thinking, well, you know, if I do that, my children will be disappointed. You know what? They won't be disappointed. Sit down with them. Hey, King.
You're a big boy now. You got a haircut.
It's real cute. But yeah, you sit down and you have a conversation with them and you let them know, you know, this winter, we usually do, you know, a big holiday vacay or rent a mansion. Well, we just went on vacay last month. We took the kids. We went to rented this beautiful 13,000 square foot palatial mansion in Orlando. We did Disney and Universal, and it was a great time. Family meetings, set goals, blah, blah, blah. It was great. Well, we were going to do something for the holiday, but, you know, after Ben and I sat down and we said, you know, our goals are really, really lofty. We have big goals. We have big things that we're wanting to accomplish. And we said, you know what, scratch it. We're not doing family vacay. We'll do everything here. I'll have, you know, lots of holiday cheer at the house. I love the holiday, but it's really important to me right now that as a people, as a community, as women and men, I don't want to leave the men out, but it's really important that we be about this bag. And we're not just sitting back in the cut waiting for, you know, somebody to tell us who made it in office and whether or not things are going to be okay. You have to make a decision right now that I'm voting myself president, and no matter who gets in office, I'm going to be okay. Not just am I going to be okay, but I'm going to put myself in a position to do my part in my community, in my city, and throughout the nation. And that's really what this whole platform does, is it educates. It's why the slave master did not want you to read. It's why they didn't want you to get education. And so I be doggone if I'm going to disservice
come on
ancestors like Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth and not educate myself. God gave you a brain. So if your husband, your spouse, your wife decides, hey, I don't want to learn, respect their right to not learn, but you need to respect the brain that God gave you, because I believe this decade is the decade of the genius. It's the decade of the You're going to have to become a thinker, where before you could use your hands, you could just be emotional, but now you're going to have to use your thinker, and you're going to have to connect with other people that are thinkers to help trigger that, so that you can really dominate and become wealthier, faster, quicker than anything you've ever imagined or seen.
Wow. That when I say that part so strong right there, that's amazing. I love the sacrifice, and I believe that other people need to do the same thing and say, you know what? Listen, I got small kids. You saw my son, he's 6, my daughter's 7. I have a 20-year-old. At the end of the day, what I know is the toy situation, that's an emotional feeling, and then it is gone. We're making heavy investments right now to maximize this moment that we will never get back again. While most people were consumed about what was going on the news, whether it be what's happening in the current world right now, not that we don't acknowledge it, but we choose not to participate in certain conversations. You talk about that for a moment, because you have definitely been extremely influential in my personal life as how I see things, and being in a position to choose to or not to participate in what was kind of forced on us. Not that there's not a sensitivity to what's happening, but there is a authority that God has actually given us that I believe a lot of people have not tapped in, and because of it, they're kind of allowing a whole year to pass them by, and this has been the greatest positional year in our lives.
Yes. Yeah, no, China, that's great. And Katrina, you know, and that's why we're all on here, because, you know, while everyone else is stopping, in some cases stopping, and I'm very sensitive to people, because I realize there have been people who've actually lost loved ones, you know what I mean? Or maybe actually getting a healing in their body. And so I want to say I'm sensitive to that. And I'm sensitive. And if you are dealing with 19 right now, I just call you healed in Jesus' name. But I want us to be sensitive to also know that during the greatest pain points in history, when we look at 07, 08, when you look at, you know, when you just study history, the Great Depression, all of it, there were, even though there were great pain points, there were also huge opportunity, right? This is where you saw the beginning of things begin to morph. When you saw there was an establishment of Wall Street, or you saw there was an establishment of the computer, there were people that were still moving, advancing. There were people that were still going forward. And so I want to encourage you that, you know, this is not the time to like freeze. This is a time to connect with other movers and shakers that are actually getting results. I'm very, very result oriented. So if somebody comes and tells me, you know, come do this, that, and the third, I want to make sure, what are the results that you have on your life? And, you know, God has graced us. We have real results, and we're connected to people that are getting serious results, literally all over the world in 120 countries. And so it's really important. You know, my daughter, back in high school, she was diagnosed with something called ulcerative colitis. And so, you know, she went through some pretty awful things with losing weight and being hospitalized for weeks at a time. And, you know, I just stood flat-footed on the word of God. But not only that, I said, Lord, you know, there's a strategy for everything. And so I started praying for the strategy and reaching out to holistic doctors. And eventually I found a holistic doctor, and they said, put her on this protocol. Well, that protocol was no gluten, no sugar, and certain supplements. Katrina, it was expensive just to be able to get her where she needed to be. It was expensive, but I chose that for her rather than, you know, what the medical doctors wanted to say. And I was appreciative of medical doctors, because they were able to help us to evaluate and identify where she was. But then I had to say, let me take it to the next step. And so she was just in Mexico dealing with some things, which is why I was a little late here. And so we immediately were able to get an IV therapist to her in Mexico, got her back here to the States, and now getting her on IVs. But you know what it costs? I talked to one IV therapist today, and they said it'll be $689. $689. Now y'all didn't go with that one. We found another one. Gary found somebody at the Washington, D.C. embassy that's going to be servicing her for a lot more reasonable. But the point is, the average person can't even necessarily afford that. The reason 19 has been so tragic in our African American inner city communities is because of lack of resources. The grocery stores, hormones and antibiotics, so we need to be eating organic food. They actually have, I was with Kelly Copeland last week, she said if you take these 4 vitamins, it actually prevents C19. And I went and bought them, but even the vitamins ran me, $150. So everything goes back to cost. And I'm going to share what those vitamins are with you guys if you anybody wants to get in.
I was just about to ask, but I can relate to that. I can relate to that, Jill, because I have lupus and fibromyalgia. So everything that you did for your daughter is what my husband and I did. We went the holistic way. I couldn't walk for a year. So to be in this space right now with you ladies, it's a little emotional for me because you're taking me back to when I couldn't walk and the cost that we had to put out. And it was like no money. It didn't matter what I had to do for my health to be able to be where I am today. And that's how I got into real estate. And this is what brought me to you guys. So money, you're right. People need to get a position now. Like now.
Position, baby. I mean, imagine if you didn't have the revelation, but imagine if you had the revelation, but you didn't have the money.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My husband, we were prepared to get on that plane and go fly over to Mexico if we had to. Or if I'm like, where are you at now? Okay, you in Dallas. Okay, okay, you in DC. Okay, the nurse is gonna be there when you get, like, all that costs money.
Yes.
And so it's important that we position ourselves. I have a therapist that comes now, China's IV therapist. She comes over to my home and she services our family every month with vitamin
I get IV therapy every month, so I can relate. I get it.
Yes, ma'am.
But these are the things we have to be able to do to take care of ourselves because 19 will not be the last thing that this earth sees. So we have to be positioned and prepared and equipped. So let me give y'all the tea on what to take, child.
Let me write this down.
Zinc, at least 30 milligrams. Zinc, at least 30 milligrams. Vitamin C, 500 milligrams. Vitamin D, 5,000 milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
And then quercetin is 500 milligrams. And they said that's twice a day. And you spell that QUERSCETIN.
How much of it?
500 milligrams twice a day.
Perfect. Love it. See, I'm solution oriented. I'm very, and I know sometimes people don't really understand it, but when you see, here's why you got to understand that there's levels to this, and there's 2 different narratives that's going on right now. There's one narrative that injects fear, and that literally will paralyze your body and your mind to move because all you're hearing is fear and all these things. And it's not that it's not real, but you can choose to participate in another narrative. And the narrative that I choose to participate is one that is of faith that allows me to hear solution. I don't want to keep talking about a problem. If a problem is here, it's not that I omit that the problem is here. That means that there's an opportunity for a solution. So I want to know what is the solution, because I know that this is not the season that God has called me to be paralyzed or restricted or complete. And I'm not saying that it's not real. I'm saying that you got to know that only the strong gonna survive. And what are you constantly hearing? If faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God, then you got to know when you constantly hearing negativity and this and that, I cut that off. I'm not intending to be sensitive to nobody, but I have made a decision that I am not participating in that narrative. But I will participate in this one with these vitamins and put what I need in my body to make sure that I am able to do what God is calling me to do. And I believe that God is raising up the next millionaires and billionaires in a season where most people are sleeping and not paying attention. And that is what this call is about right now. No longer is it enough for you to just have food on your table and a roof over your head and your bills to be paid. That is not the season we in, because you don't control 21 homes for you. That's not enough. How you gonna have impact doing that? So let me share this really quick so you guys know how to get in. And this is not your last time seeing us, guys. So you saw 234 one time 324 one time. There is a monthly, guys. Why is the monthly? The monthly is there so that you can continue to have access without having to spend $3,500 up front. So Christopher Terry, the CEO of this amazing company, Genius. Like Jules said, we're in a genius season. So you got to be connected with people who have genius on them because it's going to pull your genius out of you. Right? So 324 allows the everyday person, the single mother, the student to afford it. And we know they can afford it because they're affording these bundles and these lashes and their nails. Listen, we gonna buy some stuff, ladies. Don't pretend like you don't spend that kind of money. We've been taught to spend. Now it's time for you to be taught to invest. Right? So 324 one time, 274 a month with the option for a scholarship to waive the 274 a month. I highly recommend that elite package. I can't stress it enough. But if your budget only allots for you to get started with the 234 today, get started today. Don't let this day close on you and you haven't positioned yourself. Do not get closer and closer to Black Friday without an opportunity, right? And so the 234 is now waived for your monthly the 274 is now waived for your monthly subscription, or the 174 is waived when you simply just share this call with a few more people. You get them in front of this information. We don't expect for you to train anybody or teach anybody nothing. You get them in front of information like this and allow them to be a part and hear what we're sharing with them because it absolutely just makes sense. So I'm excited, ladies. I'm ready.
I am too.
Hey, say y'all make me want to sign up again. Click the link. Click the link. Whoever page you're watching this on, ask them, are you a part of this community? I just got off the call. I'm ready to launch my digital franchise. Are you in? If they're not in, ask them, who link could they send you because you are ready to go. Do not play with your finances. Do not play with your future. Now is the time. The future of money is here. The future of money is now. The future of money is digital. It's time to take action.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I always tell people it takes two things to become wealthy. You got to make a decision and then you got to start. And you always respect your own instinct. Always respect your own gut. Don't ever let, sometimes people hang up and they go ask somebody, their broke aunts or a friend. And it doesn't mean that they're not a good person. Just because they're broke doesn't mean they're a good person. But what I'm saying is that they should not be qualified to give you financial advice. Always look to people that unless you're willing to transfer lives with them, you won't take their advice in those particular areas, right?
Wow.
There were some people in my family that led me to Jesus that I'm very grateful for, that I honor all of my life, but I don't listen to them where my money is concerned because they've struggled all theirs. So you have to be honest with where you are, where the people are, and know that, you're talking and looking at reputable women who are really living this. And we just want to see you guys win. So like China said, get back with that person that invited you, make that decision, finish the year strong. This is like the best financial thing you could do for yourself. This is much better than a pair of Gucci shoes, honey.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. Any closing remarks, Katrina?
No, I'm excited. Like I say, this is the time now. I'm just thankful that I'm part of it. I hope that people that are listening, they can see the vision of this. And if you got any questions, if I invited you, give me a call. What I don't know, I have these two beautiful women here to help me out. And I say, let's go. Let's go. Let's finish out the year strong.
Let's go. That's it. Kawana, we see you on here. Brielle, we see you here. So many people here with the Wealth family. We're super excited and we got room for you. We got seats for you at the table. So thanks for watching. Get back with Katrina. DM her now. This is her official launch of her digital franchise. And as you can see, the support has been absolutely amazing. If you are ready, we want to know who are we launching next. Get in the system and let's launch your digital franchise today. Thanks again, Dr. Jill.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Katrina. God bless you guys. We'll see you soon. Bye for now. God bless.
Bye-bye.